It is on persuasion. So I look at trying to get you exposed to some real basic fundamentals about communication, including verbal communication, use of language, nonverbal communication, everything else you do, body, clothing, eye contact, all that stuff. Listening, intrapersonal communication, how you communicate with yourself, interpersonal, one-on-one, small group communication, and then public speaking. So I'm hoping to expose you to all those contexts, even though we won't get a lot of practice in all of those. Okay? But my real goal is hopefully to help you become a more competent communicator. And it's really, one of the reasons I really like this book is because they focus on competence. Okay? Competence is comprised of three things: knowledge, skills, and motivation. The knowledge part of the class, the development of your knowledge about communication, is primarily going to happen through the textbook. You're going to read about these ideas. Again, we'll do some online discussion about some of them. You will develop knowledge perhaps about some other subjects as you pick your speech topics. But in terms of communication, it's really going to come from reading that book. Okay? I will try at points to add some stuff on about what's in the book. If I see something interesting, I may try to send that to you to have you look at something that's connected to one of those concepts. Knowledge is great, right? I like being smart, I like knowing things, but if you can't use it, I always think, what's the point, right? So that's where the skills come in. You can know how to communicate, but if you can't do it, then you've got a little bit of a problem, right? So the activities that are in Blackboard that you're going to be engaged in interacting with, the kinds of discussion things you'll do in the discussion board, and the speeches let you practice your skills. Okay? I can't follow you around in your life, much as I might like to see how you're communicating with other people. But I can have you report back about it. I can have you tell stories about it. I can have you explain things about what you're doing. And then that hopefully will help your skill development. Public speaking. I know some of you may never do public speaking in your careers, okay? But my guess is that you're always going to have to present yourself in some way to people, whether it's at a job interview. Some of you want to work in the medical field to your patients, okay? So what you're learning in that public speaking section, or when you do your speeches, is going to help you with those skills. So there's some transferability. And I want you to understand that I look at the classroom as a laboratory. What do you do in a laboratory? Experiment, right? You're going to run experiments. I don't expect any of you to be perfect public speakers. In fact, if you could get the word perfect, I want to be perfect, out of your head, I would be so happy. Because there's really no such thing as a perfect public speaker. Even Obama, I'll bet, comes back from press conferences and speeches and other events and says, if I'd only done X, gosh, if I'd only said this, wow, I didn't hit that note that I wanted to hit. I didn't quite say it the right way when I was out there in front of the audience. Okay? So that notion of perfection sort of doesn't exist. You can shoot for the best, that's good, but I want you to understand that in here we're going to experiment. Are you going to say sometimes? Yes. Are some of you maybe going to forget when you're up here and you're going to look at the floor because, I forgot what I was going to say? Probably. Okay? Again, not that I don't want you to work not to have those moments, but if they happen, it's okay. Because that's what we're here to do, experiment and see if we can get you to be better at what you're doing, rather than expect you to be up here. Okay? Every single one of you is going to come in here with a different skill level. Some of you said, yeah, I don't really have trouble public speaking. It doesn't really bother me at all. In fact, I kind of like it. I kind of get jazzed by getting up in front of the audience. Others of you might be biting your nails because, it's making me so nervous. Okay? Realize everybody's coming from all those different levels. We're trying to get a foundation that cuts across all those levels and then build on that. Okay? So there's some parts of doing those skill activities and doing the speeches where you're going to be at different levels and you've got to get from where you're at right now to someplace a little bit better. Okay? Third thing that comprises competence is motivation. I love communicating. To me, there's nothing better than talking to people. Put me in front of an audience, put me one-on-one, put me in a small group. I'm fabulous. Love it. Can't get enough of it. There are days, though, where I'm okay just, me by myself reading my book. Okay? But I can't get each and every one of you to love communicating as much as I do. Some of you may like it, some of you may be pretty good at it, some of you may be shy of it. But what I'm hoping to get you to do is be more motivated to be aware of what you're doing and work to do it to the best of your ability. Okay? So that's why we're going to develop knowledge, skills, and motivation, how those three things dovetail together. The other thing is competence means, to be a competent communicator, means that you're effective and appropriate. And that sometimes you know how to maybe break the appropriate thing to be more effective. Right? So that's another part of what we're going to look at. If you can walk out of here having increased your level of competence, I'll be thrilled. That's what I'm really hoping that you'll be able to do. From what you told me on your little note cards that you filled out, I think that a lot of what you said, these are the goals I have, you'll be able to achieve in the next couple of weeks. Okay? Okay. 3 areas of interest. I already said I like gardening and farming. I love the arts. I really love the arts. I probably go to, I don't know, 25 to 30 plays a year. My husband and I travel to New York every summer on a trip that's run by the college called Broadway Bound, where we go for 5 days and all we do is see shows. So usually on that trip we see about 7. Typically in the winter we try to go back. We have subscriptions in the city. We go see plays all over the place. So we do a lot of theater things. I also love music and art and all that kind of stuff. If I could just go around, travel to museums and see things and exhibits and stuff, that I would love that. That would be fabulous. Another area of interest. I have a lot of interests. I really do. You know, I really like reading. I have to say, I don't get to do it as much as I would like. I don't have the time to sit and read novels, but I find I'm reading snippets of things. I love magazines. Any kind of magazine. Give me a tech magazine, give me a science magazine, give me a glamour magazine, whatever. I'll read it. I really love that. And then 3 unique things about me. The first thing is that I have a divorce story that could probably be on Oprah. The second thing is that unique things.
Let's hear the divorce story.
Huh?
So let's hear the.
You want to hear the? Okay, I'll give you the Reader's Digest. I'll give you the Reader's Digest for that. My ex-husband stole $80,000 from my parents by forging their checks.
Okay, mine's not that bad.
And he went to jail. Yeah, that's pretty. And I have a lot of very, little small snippet stories that go along with that. The way I got through my divorce was I was reading a John Grisham novel, and I just pretended that I was living the novel. So my imaginative theater side got me through my divorce doing that. It was very dramatic, let me tell you. My second thing that's unique about me, I really, really like Barry Manilow.
Oh.
Yeah, I know. It's kind
We'll
of
work on
crazy,
that.
but
You
yeah,
work on
and my husband, sweet guy that he is, took me to Barry Manilow for our anniversary in
Wow,
December.
he does love you.
I know. I'm like, really? You got Barry Manilow tickets? I thought I might go with your mom. But not you. And then, this is totally unique, but I'm a yoga practitioner. So I do yoga probably 5-6 days a week. Yeah, Mondays at 5:30 in the morning. Yeah, I didn't think I was going to do well with that, but I'm an early morning person, so that worked out really well for me. So. Now, having told you those couple of things, there are things within those little items I told you that could make speech topics. I could talk a lot about lots of stuff, about organic food and organic gardening and all those kinds of things. I could do a speech on yoga. I could do a speech on, last semester I actually had a student do a speech on the word namaste. At the end of yoga, you'll see people say namaste. And it's Indian.